Welcome back to Broken and Smoking. This time, we're going to try to finish up the old 68. Stay tuned. So what I mean by finishing up? Well, I went by the picking pool and picked up some miscellaneous throttle brackets, a throttle cable, a power steering fitting that I can tee in my Hydro Boost again because I robbed it and don't know what I did with it. Imagine that. But my goal right now is to try to move it from here to over there, in between the lifts, and try to get this bed off so we can get this fuel pump out, because I don't want to drop that tank again. I done dropped it probably 40 times since I had it in there, and that ain't no joke. And this time I think I'm going to do the bed. But the issue is, clutch ain't got a return spring. It wedges my leg in the steering wheel, and I ain't got no throttle right now. But seeing as we got a granny low 4-speed, I can put it in first or low and just let out the clutch if the clutch will release. And hopefully we can scatter over here in front of the lift. Let's see how it goes. Well, I got everything tied in with my clutch linkage and stuff. It probably rub on my valve cover. Might self-clearance too. That'd be good. But right now, I'm going to have to try to warm this beast up the old manual way. I think my screwdriver's over there. Still got all this hooked up, keys on. No radiator cap, made another mess. So unlike, 4 weeks ago, I'd have just left it. Now we got shop dogs, so guess what? I gotta clean it up now. The joys of having a puppy. Well, as you can see, the ex-wife started filming me when she heard me moving it around. Because she knows it's a Kodak moment too. We only had Polaroids now. Because it's been sitting here for a while. Well, I don't know if you caught it when I had you hanging up in the cab or not, but no power steering. The clutch ain't clutching because it ain't got a return spring. And I'm reaching down there trying to pull it up. And my legs getting hung up. My knees getting all up in my chin. Oh, it's a mess. And what's a messier than that is I gotta go clean up this antifreeze again. Because, I left the radiator cap off of it. That's my specialty. So I got some oil dry down on my mess there. I'm fixing to have to sweep it up. But seeing what I got to work with, went by the pick and pull. That's the cable. There's a bracket off of something. And here's another bracket off of something. And I figured we could make that work because that in there is an aftermarket one that's not long enough or too long. I don't know. It probably won't work. I picked everything up for $10. All this and that little piece. Look, I got a T-end down there. But my throttle cable, cable, that's what fell a while ago. Wind blew it down, I reckon. And it's awfully nice out here today. Yesterday it was about 80 something. Today I don't think it's got over 70 degrees. It is nice. But my throttle pedal, as you can see, it's out of a later model rig. And I got it in here and got some bolts, right through the firewall, secured down. So it should fit into the top of that. Oh no, you can't see nothing. With that clip, because that's kind of, this clip. And this should clip into the firewall. I think it's a square hole I filed in there at one time for something. And of course this piece. So with all that, I can cobble up something surely. I was daydreaming about having me a twisted tea right now and just sitting out and enjoying. Might go get me a twisted tea anyways. Why not? So I got this installed. And in the past I had something similar to this on here when I had that 5.3 in here. And I took and drilled a hole. Then I used a triangle file and a flat file and got 4 corners in it. You just file it until you get a 4-sided polygon. And it was still in there and it worked for this one. So now we're going to take our brackets and try to look and see which ones would work best and or what we're going to have to do to make them work. That in there, it's not too far off. Because both of them came off that back bolt, if I ain't mistaken. Heck, that ain't even, might be gooder than the other one. Let's see how, I better go find me something to stick it on the carburetor. So I found a couple of different choices. I found that one that used to be a ball. And I found this one off of a throttle body, a TBI. Well, it's a big block TBI unit. Can't really use that one. So I decided to use this one and to fit it into this right here. this opening here. I ground that down a little bit, the ball part, then I added that hole. And I'm going to use that hair clip there and slide it into that and attach it to that. See, it ain't all about how much money you spend on something, buying all this crap. Go find what you got and make it work. Be budget. Because, I mean, if I didn't have something, it was about to get zip tied, if you want to know the honest truth about it. Until I could get back to the pick and pull or something. Because I ain't paying no $20 for no dead-gum throttle dewey. That just ain't me. And you know what's better having than one pair of pliers? Having two. After I move this wire, probably undo this plug wire. Forget about it, of course. Fight it later, wondering why it's missing and get pissed off and go in the house. But yeah. Bend that up 90, but I'm talking about bending this up at a 90, putting another hole in it right back here. We can slice that one off if we need to. And that back one's gonna line up with that one pretty good in the right spot. Then I'd probably make some kind of tab to go in that bolt right there. But eyeballing it from there to here, it's gonna be pretty close. Now let me show you what I came up with so far. I took this, cut the tab off, put a 90 in it, drilled a hole in this back corner. I took the side of it, folded it in. So now you can kind of see what I got going on there, hopefully. And I took said tab I cut off, I put it up here, because I'm fixing to mark it with a Sharpie, a black one at that I can't see at where I need to weld it. And put me a little weld right there. Then we'll have us one big block Chevy throttle bracket that didn't break the bank. Well, I done the thing. Look at there. Got it all modified up. And it looks like it'll work. Pretty good. Even found me a spring put on there. I guess I need to go and tap that down into there. So this is what I got for that. Picked it out of the pick and pull. Already cut and everything. I just need to clean it up. Tee it in there. We do that. Maybe we can actually test drive it into the yard, because I already got my fuel tank down there. You know, had to do something to get it in here before I took the bed off and the fuel pump off. But this time I'll put the radiator cap. I did find it, see, and I'm gonna put it on there. Can't find my root river. Getting ready to fire this beast up. And I just remembered, I don't know what I did with my root river. Screwdriver, root river, you know. But we got the power steering pump all buttoned up and tightened up. Should be topped off, but that probably won't happen. I need to figure out about my ported vacuum. I believe you know that square, your slot in the bottom of your carburetor, I think it's opened enough where that's got vacuum on it right now, and it shouldn't have. So I need to look into that. Then I believe I'll be ready to go take it around in the yard. First time it's been around in the yard for several months. before I take it and pull it out of the shop, I'm going to try to do a little tinkering on this carburetor. Like I said, I bought this sucker off of eBay for like 125 bucks, something like that, shipped to the door as a core to rebuild. But when it came in, I decided to try it, and it worked good. But I mean, it needs some tinkering, don't get me wrong. Before I set it on here, I got that little square under the carburetor, you know, by the throttle blades, set to where it needed to be. But when I moved it around here, I turned it in 2 turns on the throttle adjustment, and I tried to play my timing to get my idle up because, you know, I didn't have throttle to move it in here. So I'm going to back this down back to 2 turns where it should be normally and see if I need to adjust my idle screws and or timing or vice versa. Don't know yet. My vacuum advanced is hooked, and I know it's pulling vacuum at my ported port, so I know it's above that area where it starts doing all that mess. Whatever. I know Guru. I just know it's pulling vacuum and it ain't supposed to. Does that make sense? Well, it's running or idling a little rich, but it seems to like that initial timing at about 24 degrees at idle, and all in is like 35. That's what the weights are in the distributor versus what it likes initial. It is what it is, I guess, because I ain't gonna go start changing stuff around. Now, if we can just get this idle mixture tamed down a little bit from all this rich smoke that I got floating around back here, we should be good to go. I'm gonna let this thing cool down a little bit. I'm gonna bolt the fan on here because I just realized I didn't have one when I seen the temperature gauge. Oops. And, you know, it didn't cut my arm off while I wasn't one on here, right? Well, we are straight fan engaged. Got the straight fan on there. Fuel line zip tied. I was gonna go with the clutch fan, but all I had was socket head cap screws, and I had to pick up some bolts to get that on there. Oh, let's go give it a whirl. It's been a long journey, or I wouldn't say journey. It's been a long time since this thing has moved, other than what y'all seen earlier. So I'm in here, and right here you can see here's the clutch pedal and my knee. Here's my knee almost coming out of the side glass when it's released. So I'm really got to pay attention while I'm doing it. And, you know, hit my chin with my knee when I release the clutch. That's what I don't like about this. So that's why I'm going to have to redo this clutch. Come up with something better than that. Plus, it's dragging my valve cover. Again, it ain't got no return spring in it, so I'm having to use my top of my foot to try to catch, or my boot to try to catch the back side of that clutch pedal up high and help pull it. It's a bunch of things I'm doing, but it's working. Let's give her a go. What do you say? See if it'll fire right off. No pumps. Well, we moved it. We went up the road, turned around, came back, crawled up a little ditch there in front of the house, and even done a couple donuts. Well, I guess that's going to do it for this one. You ain't already, like, subscribe. Do a guy a favor. Appreciate y'all. Catch y'all on the next one.